Hey you guys, this is Jess with Sourceful Journey back with another video. So, someone asked me to do an update in terms of all that's happening with our past president, Donald John Trump. See you. Make sure you get the full title in there. Just really share my thoughts about all that's transpired up until this point and how I feel about it in terms of a video I posted up close to 10 months ago in regards to why all of this is happening in regards to himself, just to see if my thoughts may have changed. So yeah, without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and just talk about it. I'm gonna go ahead and jump right in. So I'm gonna make this short. Do I feel that my thoughts, my stance on why all of this is happening to him has in any way, shape, form, or fashion changed? The answer is no. I still feel the reason why he's being attacked so heavily is because he truly does, in fact, have a calling on his life. Again, now what? He's now considered convicted. Is he considered a convicted felon now? I believe that's the case. At what, 34 counts against him? It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, but then it's not, right? I mean, think about it. This guy had no political background whatsoever, no history of it. Everything he's done has truly been for the American people. Even when you think back to the earlier days when they would do interviews with him, like around the 80s and 90s, asking him, his stance on certain topics, or if he were to ever consider running for president, things like that. His way of approaching it was so humbling. You knew, even within that particular point in time, that if he ever did it, his intentions would be pure. Now, granted, this guy obviously was a bit of a bachelor in his own way, because of his dealings with women. Let's be honest, this man was a bit of a charmer, right? It is what it is. It's not anything that none of us have never been privy to, whether it came to any family members we may be dealing with, or if it came to any past exes that we've dealt with who, may have been just that, charmers as well, or a bit of a playboy. I don't think that should be held against the individual. Granted, he may have stepped out on his relationships with particular women, but then again, you have to think about the type of women that have always surrounded him, and how they carried themselves. I've touched up on this in the previous video when I talked about my thoughts when it came to him. Right? We have to take into consideration the type of people he was surrounded by, both men and women. And since we're talking about the relationship side, think about the type of women that he was constantly surrounded by. And to be honest, think about the type of women that he's still currently surrounded by. Because let's face it, he has these different types of parties and events. We don't know who's all there, but we can see enough to know what type of people are there. And for all we know, that may be his choice. It may be a choice that he feels accustomed to, that he loves being around those type of people, those type of women. Even though being around those type of women is really not good for his image, all of us know that. But Some could be still set in their own ways, and that's no one else's doing but their own. It kind of goes back to what I said in the previous video in regards to all this with him. You have to be careful with the company that you keep. And also, when it comes to rubbing elbows with certain men who are in certain roles, or when it comes to being aligned with certain women who carry themselves in such a way and want to be so quick to want to take pictures, or have others who are related to them to be off to the side wanting to take pictures, just to make it seem like there's something going on between you and that individual. You have to be careful with stuff like that, because then it's out there on the web, and then now it's looking like, oh, you're doing something with this person. You may not even be doing anything with them. But again, it's the company that you keep. It's the company that you keep. And without saying any names, I don't think I said a name the last time I had touched up on that example. But I have to say, personally, when I saw it, I was a little disgusted. I'm like, wow, this lady went to such great lengths to have a relative to sit at a table adjacent from theirs and take an image to make it seem like they were doing something. Like, that's so disrespectful. It's disgusting. And he had this look, I don't know if he even peeped it or not, but based on how he was looking when he was sitting at the table, it doesn't look like he was camera ready. It's kind of unfortunate. But again, you have to be willing to give up that vice and feeling the need to be surrounded by people all the time, especially those type of people. Especially if you are a person who holds a certain position of power within the public eye. You have to be very careful about who you consider to be your friends, because not everyone is your friend. Not everyone's intentions are going to be pure. There's some people, some of us, who would love to have that interaction with you and don't give a damn about how much money you make or how much money you have saved up in your bank account. They just want to truly know who you are as the individual. Believe it or not, there's some of us that still exist. You know, they make it seem like, and this is the part that gets me, especially with the media nowadays, they push these images so heavily on women to want to go to Dubai, go here, go there, buy all the Chanel, the Givenchy, They still push that, and some women fall for that. And there's some of us who are looking like, what is that going to do for me? How's that going to benefit me? When I can go buy a certain item that is X amount of dollars on Amazon that looks way better than that Givenchy in a corner. You know, it tickles me. And I know that I'm not the only woman that notices this. Let's really talk about it. Those who knew me and those who do know me, you know, dress loves a dress. I always say that, right? You know, I could have really nice heels, flats, you name it, damn good bags. And those who know me know, like, the material needs to always match, meaning if it's a certain type of leather shoe, the purse needs to match. I am very much a detailed person when it comes to that too. And I love my dresses and skirts too. I'm trying to drive home here. I can think of the number of times I could be out just doing my own thing and get hella compliments and people turning, which is good. It's good. They pick up on the energy because they see your confidence, see it in you, who you are and how you carry yourself, right? And I just smile at them, you know. And sometimes they'll come up and start talking to me and ask me questions, whatever. But in doing all that, I'll have people ask me, where did you get your bag from? Where did you get your shoes from? Where did you get your heels from? And I'll tell them. They're like, oh, really? Like, yeah. And I let them know, like, I'm not really a designer person. What's that old saying? Paraphrasing, it's like the clothing, the clothes don't make the man makes the clothes. Some crap, y'all know what I'm talking about. But the point I'm trying to drive home here is that the item itself should not be the thing that be viewed as the piece that make you look good. You are the actual individual that makes the item look good. get what I'm going with this, right? I guess it's kind of like a muse, being like a muse of sorts too. I think that kind of plays a factor. But I've always thought of it this way, and I'm gonna encourage others to do the same. Whenever you buy a certain item or you're wearing a certain item, think of it this way. That item is not making you look good. You, my friend, are making that item look good. So tying that into being a person of that knowing, and when it comes to dealing with people who have money, which money too is fleeting, just as soon as you get it you can lose it, or the reality of it all, when it's time to return to the dust, as I mentioned in the previous video. A lot of that stuff, you guys, we're not taking that with us. Even with me and my nice looking items that I have that is not designer named, I'm not taking that with me. Funny thing about it though, I don't know if any of you guys do, any of you ladies that do this, or the guys too. When you wear certain things for just so long and you know you got it sitting in your closet, do you ever think about donating it? I know for me, I do. Rather than allow it to collect dust. If I know, Jessica, there's no way you're gonna wear that again. You don't see yourself wearing that anytime soon or at all. Donate it. A lot of times there'll be stuff that still have tags on it. I'm like, okay, I know I'm not gonna get around to wearing this. Let me just go ahead and donate it. It's good to have that type of thought process, because again, that item that could be viewed as someone's junk could actually be another man's treasure. All right. So for me personally, because I get this question a lot, like, why I seem so blah when it comes to even anything pertaining to designers, because the name doesn't move me. Same with someone who has money, you know, who comes from a certain lifestyle, right? When I'm looking at them eye to eye, I don't think I'm like, oh, it's so-and-so, it's so-and-so. No. You bleed just like the rest of us. You're human, plain and simple. So even with that being said, you guys, I would just encourage you guys to have that same thought process when it comes to all of this, whether it comes to the material or the very individuals that we come across in our day-to-day. You know, have that sense of knowing that, okay, great, you know, especially if it happens to be a certain individual who is in the public space. Always know at the end of the day, the only reason why they became so well known in various aspects is because, well, we've made them become well known. Or if we didn't put that much time and energy into acknowledging these individuals, right, they would not be where they are if it wasn't for us putting that type of energy into them. As I mentioned a moment ago, we all bleed the same. So even when it comes down to those in the physical, when it comes down to the material items that we have, the designer name or not, it should not be the key factor for anyone at all. Because, again, those items are fleeting. And the reality of it all, a lot of these items now, especially some of the stuff you see online, actually look pretty damn good compared to the actual designer items. I know I'm not the only one that noticed this. I'm like, wait, this looks damn good compared to that Givenchy. You know, or this watch looks way better, does way more than that Philippe, whatever the hell that guy is. I'm so sorry. I don't remember his name. Patek, I think it is. Patek? And correct me if I'm wrong, you guys, and I do apologize, but I think his name is Patek. Right, so I almost dropped the 4-letter word. I had to catch myself there, but the point I'm trying to make, you know, is just, it's all about perception, and it's truly all about prioritizing what truly matters in your day-to-day and what doesn't. And when you come to the realization that a lot of the energy and focus we put into certain things that really should not be of importance to us, the moment you realize that, and you start to shift gears in terms of your thought process, it's going to be a weight lifted like no other. And you'll start to be able to allocate that money and that focus towards things that truly should matter to you. And once you do that, it's like a whole new world. Kind of like the song. I would sing it for you guys, but I want to embarrass myself. But it's truly like a whole new world when it's all said and done. So to kind of tie it up here, my thoughts about the whole thing with Donald John Trump Sr., with all that's going on with these convictions and all that jazz. Do I still feel that this man has some type of calling on his life? I still say yes, because again, there is no way. Why are they attacking him so heavy compared to other individuals? A lot of people, I've noticed, some would even say that it's because it's a ritual, if you will, that's taking place that we are not aware of. You know, if you know, you know. My opinion on that, I don't think it's a humiliation ritual. I don't feel like it is. I feel like we've, my ears just did something a moment ago. I just don't think it is. I feel like we're beyond that stage. If it were to happen, I think it's far beyond that stage. But you have a lot of people who are on there that are saying that they think it is a humiliation ritual. If you know, you know. But yeah, so that's all for this quick video. I honestly think that, in fact, he still truly does have a calling on his life, and I feel like this upcoming election period is going to be something else. It's going to be something for the books, for sure, without saying too much. So yeah, that's all for this quick video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I don't know what that was with my ear a moment ago. Yeah, we'll find out. Consultations are still open, you guys, so definitely if it is something that is of interest to you, don't hesitate to click on the link below and actually access my calendar there. You can also reach out to me if you have any issues with setting up an appointment on the calendar. I can then go in and see what spots we have available, and then we can set up the time that works best for us both. Furthermore, I definitely want to welcome all the newcomers to the family. I do see you, and I appreciate you guys. Do know that. I do want to point out, for those who are not aware, I'm actually in the field house when it pertains to keynote speaking as well as motivational speaking. So if it is something that maybe your organization's getting ready to set up in terms of an event that's coming up, and you would like for me to come and partake in that experience with you guys, definitely have someone from the head of your organization to reach out to me, where we can then set the appropriate details and go from there accordingly. And also, I feel like I'm forgetting something. No, actually, that's it. I want to make sure I covered all bases. But as always, oh, yes, I was. Okay, so if you have any issues with setting up an appointment, again, you can just message me on my other platforms or here, or email me, and I will get back to you in a timely fashion where we can then set up a time that works best for us both. So as always, I'm definitely sending you guys off with love and light, and I will see you in the next video. That's what I meant to say. All right, be blessed, you guys.